action. Congressman Andy Barr of House Foreign Affairs and House Financial Services. Congressman, good evening to you. I want to get straight to some of these economic issues, if you will, because the American people are very concerned about what's going to happen to our energy prices here, how high inflationary pressures could go as a result of this invasion, that we can call it in earnest now. We were at a point where we were energy independent. We were producing more oil and gas on our soil, and this president has now reversed that. Very hard to flip those switches overnight.
Yeah, absolutely. If you think about it, in just 1 year's time, we went from a position not just of energy independence, but energy dominance, a net energy exporter, which not only had benefits for American consumers, lower energy costs, lower gas prices at the pump, and also lower electricity costs, but also had incredible geopolitical benefits. And so we all know that the Biden administration's weak foreign policy not only failed to deter Putin from this invasion, but invited it. We know that because of the disastrous retreat from Afghanistan that signaled an unwillingness to defend our allies. The fact that he President Biden waived the sanctions on Nord Stream 2 without any reciprocal commitments from Putin. But the energy policy shift from Trump to Biden should not be underestimated as another reason for why Putin chose this time to commit this aggressive, illegal invasion of the Ukraine. And if you think about it, if you look at the statistics from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the last year under the Biden administration, net exports to the United States from Russia in petroleum products, in crude oil, increased about $22 million a day. So in effect, the Biden policy of increasing our dependence on foreign sources of energy, of decreasing domestic production, actually financed Putin in his efforts to commit this act of aggression.
I hear you, and I've been saying that President Biden set the stage, basically presenting our country as weak in energy, and Vladimir Putin saw that and has seized it and is trying to take advantage of it. I will say this, just to go over a couple of things to the points that you made. With respect to national gas prices, the average right now, $3.54. Obviously, a year ago it was at $2.66, and we're preparing for that to get worse. With respect to the point that you made about how much more oil we're taking in from Russia, roughly 500 million barrels a day, and we were getting from Canada, he took offline 800 million barrels a day there. So we bumped up what we took from Russia, we took down what we're getting from Canada. And you look at all of this and the volatility that you saw in the stock market today and oil prices as well, and it's enough to have people really concerned about the coming volatility.
Absolutely. And what we need from the president right now, post-invasion, is we need some leadership to reverse course, to reverse these destructive policies that have driven up the cost at the pump, which have driven up electricity costs, energy costs for the American people. Stand up to the climate alarmists and start authorizing more exploration and production domestically so that we can once again achieve energy independence. And geopolitically, crush the Russian economy. Yes, we need tough sanctions. Yes, we need to consider removing Russia from SWIFT. Yes, we need more support in terms of lethal military assistance to the Ukrainian resistance. But I think the way we really get at Putin, the way we really respond in an effective way to this act of aggression is to once again achieve energy dominance in the world and also help our NATO allies become less dependent on dirty sources of Russian gas.
Right.
If we support LNG exports, we can liberate Europe from Putin's grip.
I just want to go over these numbers again. We're roughly producing about 11 million barrels a day. Russia's producing roughly about the same. We were producing 13 million. We consume 18 million, right? So we don't produce enough to be able to match our own consumption. With respect to the numbers I just said, I said them very quickly. I apologize. 500,000 barrels, that's what we're taking in from Russia. And the 800,000 barrels, a little bit less than a million, was what we were getting from Canada. But bringing this all together and bringing those numbers all together, Congressman Mark Green, your colleague, was on Fox and Friends this morning, and I think he put it really succinctly. Listen to this.
You can't win an energy war if you shut down your own energy sector. And that's what Biden has done. Turn off the regulations, let the pipelines flow at full capacity. We fix this. We fix this. That's the only way.
That would be the only way, but this is not a president that seems willing to do that. Final word.
Right. And I totally disagree with my colleague, Mr. Schiff, and I agree wholeheartedly with my colleague, Mr. Green from Tennessee. He's exactly right. This does have to do with embracing a radical climate agenda to the detriment of affordable, reliable energy here at home. And it does have ramifications worldwide. This is the way to counter the malign activities of Russia and the aggression of Putin. And I think this is the way forward. This president needs to reverse course and recognize that not only do we have the highest energy prices domestically in years for the American people, but this has compromised our national security.
Oh, absolutely. And that was what President Trump said with his policies when he wanted to make, energy a top priority for us. He said it's not only about consumption in the economy, it is about national security. And that is what you're seeing play out here. Congressman Andy Barr, thank you so much. Good to